Chosen one, look at me. You didn't land here by mistake. You didn't just stumble onto this message because you were bored, scrolling, or curious. You were summoned. Something inside you, that unshakable knowing that you're not like everyone else, pulled you here. You felt it your whole life, haven't you? That quiet voice saying you're different, marked, destined for more than just survival. That wasn't your imagination. That was confirmation. You are not ordinary. You carry weight, power, and a calling that hell itself has been trying to silence. And the fact that you're here, right now, means heaven is putting you on notice. It's your time to wake up, stand up, and see through the lies trying to trap you. This world has been throwing distractions, fake blessings, and shiny cages your way. But you're about to break through it all. So straighten your back. Lift your head. You are chosen. You are dangerous to the darkness. And you're about to prove why. Let's go. The walls are closing in. Every signal, every flicker of discomfort has been a beacon flashing the truth you've tried to ignore. This place is not for you. The rising pressure in your chest is not paranoia. It is a call to awaken. Those who hold no value face no opposition, and you carry more weight than you realize. To step into what was always meant for you, you must sever what has kept you anchored, looking for purpose and peace. Hit subscribe and start the journey. That enticing connection, that seemingly harmless offer, that quiet sense of safety. None of it is real. They are snares disguised as solace. Before diving deeper into what will shatter your illusions, take a moment. Interact with this message as a sign of choosing alignment over confusion. Something in you already recognizes these words. If you remain until the end, the fog will lift, and what binds you will break. Pay close attention. The clock is ticking. What stands before you does not glitter because it is sacred. It gleams because it is polished to mislead. This is not said to frighten, but to awaken vigilance. Many are drawn to dazzling opportunities and warm smiles, mistaking them for divine direction. Unaware, they are stepping into silent traps. The warning was never whispered, it roared. Because deception wears the skin of answers. Even those who think they see clearly stumble. It does not arrive as menace. It approaches as the dream you thought you'd lost. It takes the shape of the role you craved, the companionship you thought was your miracle, the guidance that feels perfect but hides a knife behind its back. What you face is not favor. It is bait. Where others see doors of possibility, heaven sees cages waiting to close. This is your moment to not only notice, but to listen deeply to the quiet guidance within. The warning is not rejection. It is an invitation to clarity. Do not rush toward what shines. Not every open path is a blessing. Not every bright room is safe. That restlessness you feel is not fear but protection, urging you to preserve what is still being formed inside of you. Requests have gone out for direction, breakthrough, a clear signal. Suddenly, it arrives, the message, the opportunity, the spotlight. But understand this, not every sudden shift is sacred. Not everything that ends your waiting comes from above. The answer is firm. That opening, that voice, that promise, it is not meant for you. The forces opposing you have studied your patience, your silence, your hunger for progress. They seek to turn your endurance into recklessness, to lead you toward something that only extends your desert rather than ending it. The instruction is clear, remain unmoved. If the higher hand is absent, no gain is worth the cost. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. There's a reason the shadows seem to gather around you more than others. It's not misfortune, it's the weight of your potential drawing attention. When someone carries rare purpose, disruption circles them, offering invitations to steer them away. Not every path forward is worth taking simply because it appears to lead somewhere. Some roads curve back into the very wilderness you were meant to leave behind. The authentic fulfillment still waits in silence. Its arrival does not suffocate but soothes. For now, resistance wears a pleasant face. It approaches as kindness, sounds like wisdom, pretends to lift you yet presses you down. Not every voice that speaks with conviction carries light. Not every ally who stays close is sent to build you up. Corruption rarely wears an obvious mask. It often borrows the shape of virtue, concealing its hunger beneath flattery. Offers draped in comfort but filled with unease are not gifts. They are warning flares lit to awaken you. Every gesture, every opportunity placed before you now seems coated in gold, but beneath lies a demand, the price of clarity. Somewhere deep inside, something quiet already pulls at you when the noise grows deafening. That subtle knowing is what tries to preserve you before you bind yourself to something that drains instead of feeds you. Every person vying to guide your steps does not necessarily walk with clean hands. Not every suggestion deserves your trust. Not every outstretched hand intends to steady you. Some simply wish to tip you off balance, just enough to divert your course. This season is not about speed or ambition. This is a chapter of deliberate stillness. Closed doors do not speak of failure here. They stand as unseen barricades, shielding you from collapse. Each know you encounter carves space between you and ruin. This is not the time to force progress, to pour yourself out recklessly, to leap at every flicker of opportunity the world waves in your direction. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Temptation now wears the form of investments, invitations, and promises painted as once-in-a-lifetime moments. Without clear direction, they become debts your spirit cannot afford to repay. Impulse is what the enemy wagers on. Restraint is what the divine strengthens in you. This standstill is not punishment, but a carefully orchestrated pause, while what lies ahead rearranges itself. Movements you cannot yet see are shifting in the distance. False motives are surfacing, and hidden traps are losing their disguise. If you remain where you are, you remain untouched by the downfall that is quietly being revealed. Right now, obedience is your only true wealth. Spend it sparingly and with care. The conflict no longer arrives wrapped in obvious wrongs. It moves through familiar spaces, through casual conversations, through faces you once trusted, through messages laced with charm and subtle compromise. This is not just opposition. It's a refined strategy woven into the places where you feel most safe. New introductions that sparkle with promise. Words that flatter your ego. Sudden partnerships offering fast rewards. These are not all aligned with what you're meant to become. They exist to entangle you in confusion, to deplete what you carry, to mirror your own reflection back at you until you cannot tell truth from mimicry. Without grounding, it's easy to mistake charisma for depth, proximity for purpose. Some connections are not divine at all. They arrive only to watch, to copy, to drain. Do not dismiss the quiet unease within you. Even before you can name it, the signal is clear. This is not where you are meant to stay. Trust the warning, even when no evidence has yet surfaced, because it always arrives before the storm does. There is a quiet storm in the room that few notice. Words that sound warm sometimes hide frost beneath them. Not every voice that mentions the sacred carries sincerity. This moment demands vigilance. Protect what you let into your mind, what you allow to touch your soul, and what you keep close to your chest. The boundaries you establish now will shape the horizon ahead. This shedding of certain connections is not a loss, but a clearing of clutter. Being unseen right now is not neglect. It is deliberate shelter. Isolation feels heavy because you've misnamed it. It is not abandonment, but preservation. Distance shields you from schemes you have yet to uncover. And when the noise fades, what remains is the signal that truly matters. Plans are whispered when the air is still, not when everyone is watching. Let them speculate. Let them misinterpret your silence. They were never handed the map etched with your name. Staying and hiding for now is not weakness, but wisdom. Re-emerging too soon only exposes you to storms you're not yet equipped to weather. That racing pulse telling you to hurry is not guidance. It's a trap meant to scatter your focus. True direction never demands panic. It unfolds quietly, like dawn breaking over the hills. Haste is the language of confusion. Calm is the language of clarity. Make your impact eternal. Join now and be a light in someone's darkness. Many right now stumble into snares disguised as progress, mistaking motion for meaning. When anxiety speaks louder than discernment, Disappointment is waiting behind the curtain. You do not need to claw at what already belongs to you. You do not need to sprint toward what is already making its way toward you. Real alignment does not force you to trade away your peace, just to claim it. The waiting is not meant to punish, but to prevent you from surrendering to restlessness. Misinterpreting silence as defeat only leads to rash decisions that unravel everything quietly holding you together. When the air feels unsettled, stop. That is the sign. That tightness, that sudden urgency, it does not come from a good place. It comes to drain, not to deliver. The larger picture remains hidden for a reason. Moving prematurely means stepping into something that only partly serves you while quietly sabotaging the rest. The blueprint you carry is being refined, piece by piece, outside of your line of sight. What is quietly maturing in shadow will outshine what is hurried into the light. Waiting is not idleness, it is preparation in motion. There is a difference between chasing and arriving. The quiet season you endure now is not empty. It is the sharpening of your edges, so you can meet what comes next without breaking. It is easy to feel left behind while others seem to surge ahead. But delay is not denial. It is the exact timing that ensures you step into what you were meant to carry fully equipped, not half-formed. There is a shift approaching that does not demand explanation or force. When it arrives, the weight in your chest will lift without effort, and the air around you will feel unmistakably different. The true turning point never asks you to betray yourself to reach it. It meets you whole. For too long, you've been wandering through a haze of second-guessing, worn down by invisible battles and stretched thin from carrying questions without answers. But the fog is about to clear. A higher layer of awareness is opening, a quiet dimension of understanding where the pieces you couldn't place before suddenly align, where confusion is traded for insight, and struggle gives way to unshakable calm. This is not ordinary learning, it's sacred perception. The reasons behind every collapse, every goodbye, every burden are about to unfold before you in ways no teacher could articulate. What once felt like silence was never absence, it was preparation. And when this vision fully unlocks, your choices will ripple far beyond what can be seen. This is not just a breakthrough. It is a total renewal of your inner blueprint. Every restless night, every ache of not knowing, every moment you doubted your worth has been shaping you for this exact unveiling. If your heart overflows with divine love, now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. What's about to unfold isn't just something you can point on the outside. It reaches into your core, rewires your emotions, and restores what you thought was lost. The quiet ache you've carried, convinced it meant you were forgotten, is being answered in ways that will leave you speechless. The breakthrough reveals that you were never fractured. You were being formed. All the moments you thought wasted, all the tears that fell unseen, were feeding the foundation of what's about to bloom. And as it emerges, your path, your identity, and your mission will click into place with such clarity, you won't need to defend yourself anymore. Those watching will see the strength in your stance, the power in your presence, and you'll finally understand it was all part of the architecture of something far bigger than you imagined. This is not stagnation. This is strategy unfolding in silence. What looks like stillness from where you stand is an intricate design moving beneath the surface. Every slow moment, every empty pause, every delay you've cursed has been deliberate positioning. Every hidden move has been building layers inside you, so when the moment comes, you will not just arrive, you will arrive equipped. The unfolding of this plan will outpace your imagination when it clicks into place. There's no rush in sacred work. The timing has never been random. It has been exact. Waiting without evidence, moving without proof, and believing without visible results has stretched you into someone who can carry what's coming without breaking. That kind of endurance shapes reality before it appears. Don't despise the quiet. Honor it. What looks like nothing happening is the final adjustments of a masterpiece. When the signal is given, you won't just enter your next season. You will carry the authority of someone who has endured fire, and emerged forged. Even now, in the quiet, stand as if you already know. This is not delay. This is deployment. There's been a quiet tension in the air around you, a sense you couldn't quite name, but couldn't ignore either. Smiles feel heavier than they should. Praise carries an unfamiliar sharpness, and the closeness of some has started to feel more like surveillance than support. Those who linger near are not all here to uplift. Some came to observe, to disrupt, to sow doubt quietly in the cracks. But the charade is almost over. The unveiling has already begun. What may seem like loss is in fact protection disguised as distance. Hidden schemes are surfacing. Behind-the-scenes whispers are finding their way to the light, and the layers of false intention are being peeled back one by one. There's no need to retaliate or defend. Let the exits happen without resistance. What falls away was never meant to stay. As you ascend, illusions dissolve, and those who once walked beside you are revealed for what they truly are: placeholders, not partners. This is not chaos. It is clarity. The higher you rise, the clearer the view becomes, and what does not belong can no longer hide in the shadows. Let the masquerade collapse. What remains will be real. Some have mocked your stillness, thinking it weakness or confusion. They've mistaken your silence for defeat, your restraint for fear. They laughed as if your refusal to join their rush meant you'd missed your chance. But what they cannot see is the strategy hidden in your calm. They do not understand the instructions that shaped your decisions or the invisible shields that held you back from destruction. Soon their questions will replace their laughter. The same mouths that doubted will wonder how you arrived when you never seemed to move. And the only answer you'll need is this: you moved when the signal came and waited when it didn't. There is something bigger moving than any single life. Beyond personal trials, a wider deception has been spilling into every structure, flooding conversations, systems, and connections with counterfeit promises. While the masses sprint toward whatever shines, there is another current forming quietly, a gathering of those unwilling to compromise or collapse under pressure. These are the ones who resist illusions, who listen before they leap, who carry their resolve like armor. You are one of them. You are not only safeguarded, you are being positioned to lead when others falter. This isn't just endurance, it's preparation for influence. The weight of the moment is not here to crush you, but to prove you. Everything shaking around you is drawing out the core of who you really are. You were shaped for this, even when you didn't feel ready. When the noise crescendos, you remain steady, not because you're flawless, but because you're aligned. This awakening is not random, it's deliberate. Every time you stand your ground, others find their courage through you. This isn't just about what you'll gain. It's about what your stand will ignite in others. What's coming into view now is closer than you think, but still needs time to mature. The public stage is not yet ready, and neither are you. Not because you're unworthy, but because the unseen layers are still being refined. Every hidden season writes into your story a strength that cannot be replicated under the spotlight. Rushing ruins what still needs shaping. In the quiet, unseen hours, you're being equipped with tools, sharpened with lessons, and stripped of what could sabotage your next chapter. Every invisible victory, every private struggle is adding weight to your presence. When the moment comes, the shift will leave no doubt. For now, remain unseen. Let the stillness speak. Let humility guard you. When you rise, and you will, it won't be to draw attention. It will be to carry out what you were born to accomplish. There's a moment when the path beneath you seems to vanish, and every step you thought was certain dissolves into silence. Plans that once felt secure unravel, connections disintegrate, and what you built with care crumbles, without warning. You stare at the stillness and wonder, where did I go wrong? But what feels like collapse is simply a turn toward a higher course. What seems like a barrier is actually a pivot point. The route you imagined was too narrow for what you carry. The timeline you clung to was too fragile for the weight of your purpose. Delays arrive not as punishment, but as rescue from dangers you cannot yet perceive. The pain you thought would break you was sparing you from a far deeper destruction. The missteps you mourn were actually realignments to a calling you couldn't have dreamed of. The sharp corners you encountered weren't failures. They were the map unfolding in ways only eternity understands. So lean into the unexpected. Let it teach you. Let it refine you. The winding trail builds wisdom that straight roads never will. And one day you'll look back at what once felt like devastation and recognize it for what it truly was: preservation disguised as loss. There's a depth of purpose written into you that was not authored by opinion, applause, or ambition. It was woven into your being long before your first breath. That kind of purpose carries a gravity that humbles those who try to bear it without surrender. It is not light nor easy. It is a mantle heavy with significance, power, and accountability. To carry it without being crushed requires laying down every illusion of control. True strength is found not in clinging, but in yielding. The more you grip the reins, the more it weighs you down. The calling you feel pressing on your chest is not meant to be carried by force, but channeled through trust. Many are exhausted, not because they are unworthy, but because they are trying to fulfill eternal work with finite strength. The breaking you've experienced wasn't designed to destroy. It was to strip away what could not come with you. When pride falls and self-reliance fades, humility rises, and that's when doors begin to open that no striving could unlock. Release the pressure to prove anything. Let go of the need to appear invincible. The weight of what you're meant to carry can only rest on a heart that is willing to bend. Gifts are not given to the loudest or most visible. They're entrusted to those who stay tender. The changes within you now are undeniable. Your thoughts are sharper, your healing runs deeper, and your awareness cuts clearer than before. Not everyone around you will understand this version of you, and that's all right. Growth will always cost familiarity. This moment demands you protect the evolving soul you're becoming from those who still expect the one you've outgrown. Some cling to the smaller version of you because it served their comfort, but you've been called into spaces where they cannot breathe. You owe no explanation. You owe no apology. Protect the quiet fire that's been kindled in you. Guard your time, your vision, and your peace from the noise of those who can't see what's being built inside you. Not everyone is meant to accompany you into this chapter, and that's not cruelty. That's clarity. Bless them where they are and keep climbing. You're not retreating. You're rising. This iteration of you is sacred and must be guarded as such. It can feel like the world is shouting at you to catch up, to prove, to arrive, to perform on someone else's schedule. Everywhere you turn, expectations press in, telling you you're behind, unseen, or too late. But eternity does not measure worth the way culture does. Where others crave spotlight, you are being formed quietly, out of sight. Where depth grows and roots take hold, progress that matters cannot be counted in likes, timelines, or milestones. Every quiet act of surrender plants seeds that will bloom when the moment is right. You are not losing. You are being positioned. Even what looks like stillness is movement when you're aligned with something higher. Breathe here. The noise around you has nothing to do with your worth. You are not lagging. You are being prepared to move in strength, not in frenzy. Rest your mind. You are not at war with time. You are walking with purpose. There is something extraordinary resting within you. A current, a vision, a resonance meant to impact others beyond what you can see. But the voices around you have tried to turn what is sacred into something to be sold, to dilute what was never meant to entertain into something palatable for applause. This gift you carry was never meant to be packaged for popularity. It is not a commodity. It is an offering. The power within you is not owed to every audience that demands it. Just because people want access to what you carry does not mean they are worthy of it. Some opportunities are traps in disguise, demanding you trade authenticity for attention. Reclaim your offering. Place it back where it belongs, dedicated to a higher purpose. When you stop performing for approval and start protecting your calling, it flourishes without compromise. Your power was never in being seen. It was always in being surrendered. Hold what is sacred as sacred, because it is not yours to exploit. You are not here to be consumed. You are here to transform. What marks a path aligned with the divine is not speed, popularity, or the size of the crowd cheering. It is quiet, steady peace. The kind that settles deep inside even when nothing around you makes sense. Peace is the evidence. It does not compete or clamor. It does not have to be justified or explained. If you're forcing yourself to feel calm, you're not standing in it yet. True peace simply exists, and it stays. Watch carefully. Not all doors lead to rest. Some are polished beautifully, but unsettle your spirit the moment you reach for them. Not every smile in your direction is safe. Not every offer is right. This is a season to choose what steadies you over what impresses others, to silence the voices of pressure and listen to the subtle pull within you. Clarity is not always loud. Sometimes it comes disguised as unease. Don't ignore it. If peace is absent, step back. What is meant for you won't disturb the quiet foundation being built in you. Let peace guide you. It has been speaking all along.